I've owned many used luxury cars outside of warranty, including used Mercedes Benz. Today we're going to talk about buying a used Mercedes or owning one outside of warranty. Is it a financial disaster? Is it one of your best purchases you can ever make? We're going to explain 3 key elements about how I managed to survive used Mercedes Benz ownership and got to talk about it. Let's get into it now. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Mark with exoticcarplayplace, and many people are of the belief that you just buy a Mercedes Benz new, take it for a lease for 2 or 3 years, sell it. Rinse, lather, repeat if you want to continue on with your ownership experience. But there's 3 things that I've learned that have helped me along the way so I don't feel like I've been taken through the ringers. And we'll talk about these 3 elements, and one of them is understanding the maintenance requirements of these cars. Number 2 is understanding how to get around all of the repairs that tend to hit you as the car gets older. And number 3 is understanding the optimal time to get in and out on the depreciation curve of these used luxury cars. First discussion is about maintenance. And do you realize any Mercedes Benz of 2009 and newer rely on a maintenance schedule? They call it A and B schedules. A is the 10,000 mile mark or first year, and then followed by 30,000, 50,000, 70,000, 90,000 miles, and or a year in between. That schedule generally means is an oil and filter service, check fluids, check air pressure in your tires, and call it a day. Then there's a B service, which is a little bit more. It's also oil and filter changes, but they also swap out the brake fluid and they do a cabin air filter, check fluids, and move on from there. Now, while some people feel that they need to get sucked into the whole dealer experience, that's where things get a little sticky. So owning a car outside of warranty can be a little daunting, because when a car is brand new, when you first lease these cars, or often your first couple of years, many of these manufacturers, including Mercedes, often provide you with incentives, and they'll give you first couple of years free maintenance. People love to get in. They get warm and fuzzy. They buy that brand new Mercedes. They don't have to worry about a thing for a couple of years. Lo and behold, after your lease term is up or after your warranty period's over, guess what? That all falls on you, the owner of that car. But if you're like me, here's the workaround that I've found. If you understand that going in, you know that the key elements are that need maintenance. Understand that. A great option is looking at alternative parties. Now, sure, you can go to the dealer. You have to be more selective. You can also look at third-party shops, and sometimes you're able to get more competitive pricing on your oil changes. Do you need a cabin air filter? What if your car typically sits in the garage all day long? Do you want to do a cabin air filter every couple of years, even if the car's never been on the road? I think not. So why get pulled into spending unnecessarily if you don't need to? You have more control. So buying a car out of warranty sort of puts you in a place so you don't feel as compelled to take the dealer advice. You can take it or you can leave it, up to you. But you can also go to those third-party shops and not worry about what that may or may not do to your warranty. It gives you more options, more freedom. Now, this is all very important to understand, because with an A and B service, and you do that almost every year, there's almost a standard service fee that you're applying to the vehicle, or you're paying for your vehicle just to own it. It's a great way to help you budget. On the other hand, it ensures the dealer and the vendors that you're constantly providing them with a flow of cash. And it allows them to continue their business operation and keeps the lights on and the tile floors bright and shiny and the coffee fresh and hot in the waiting room. So at the end of the day, it's your choice to buy them out of warranty, so you don't have to feel that you are pulled into that. Because often a lot of these services are going to cost you anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 annually if you're driving a more premium version of a Benz, or it could cost you anywhere from $1,000, maybe $1,200 if you're driving something more entry level like a CLA, GLA, even a C-Class. You can get away slightly cheaper because there's less going on there. So the second factor that people have to consider when buying a car out of warranty or just owning it past the warranty period is naturally things are going to wear out. 60,000, 80,000 miles, you'll find things, water pumps, starters, brakes. I mean, a lot of things can break, fail, wear out, what have you, and that's a fear for many people, I understand. But consider that a lot of the large expenses that could be incurred are largely offset by depreciation. And so if you buy into a slightly used Mercedes Benz, you're already saving that differential, and that amount can be put into the cost of repairs. You can be even more savvy. Maybe you can work on some of these cars yourself to save a ton of money. Maybe you don't want to. How about even finding a small independent backyard shop? There's lots of those guys that work on Euro cars, $75, $80 an hour. A lot of those guys will do the work for, compared to $150 to $180 by the dealer rate. So lots can be saved there. Let's also not forget the parts. Buying parts from the dealer are jacked up 3 times over to cover those costs. Remember those bright shiny floors and the high bay lighting and the technicians with trench coats and lab coats? Those guys are getting paid. All of that has to come from somewhere. Parts are cranked up and you pay for that. So go to places like FCP Euro. They're going to save you a ton of money. Trust me, I know. You can save tons by doing it yourself, finding an independent shop, and or just sourcing out parts. Now, you can't source these independent parts from FCP Euro and take it to the dealer. They won't fix it. So if your car is under warranty, that's not an option. You're paying through the nose. If it's a non-warranty covered item, you're still going to pay for it, and you're going to pay full dealer rate for that. And it's going to cost, and it's going to hurt. So again, owning a car out of warranty gives you that freedom sometimes to make these savvy purchases or find that great little independent shop that can save you a ton of money. Now consider the third major element. Again, it's called depreciation. Depreciation is a double-edged sword. If you bought your car new, 5 years later, that car may be only worth about 40%. If you're talking about a C-Class, if you're talking about a CLS, after 5 years, it's only worth about 25 to 30% of its original value. Huge hit. Lots of cash to be lost and spent on buying brand new. If you buy used, like I do, and I often have, like when I bought my ML500, I was able to buy that car 3 years of age, and I lost a lot on depreciation, but I saved a lot from that initial loss up to that 3-year mark. So it wasn't a total write-off. Most luxury cars, including the Mercedes, often lose anywhere from 50 to 60% of their original value, gets blown away after the first 5 years. That is a huge loss. But if you're buying new, that hurts. If you're buying used, maybe buy that 3 or 4-year-old car, maybe get a CPO warranty. Those can help you save a lot of money. But those are the things you need to do if you're buying a used car. Buy it at the 2 or 3 year mark. Buy today's 2020, buy a 17 or an 18 model year. If you're lucky, you can get a CPO warranty. And then of course you're good for another 3 or 4 years of warranty. So you have that protection. But regardless, you've already saved so much money by not buying new. That used car purchase has saved you a lot of money. And that used car that you can buy is a huge win. So even if the car transitions out of warranty, you've already saved so much money on that initial depreciation. You're able to buy a relatively late model car, even though it is used, and you drift out of warranty. You've saved so much. Even if you're starting to incur some repairs and some additional maintenance, you have more control. And that's the key here, is control. You own the car, not them. You have control of where you spend your money, how much you spend, and all that maintenance and repairs. You have more control in doing that. So ultimately, drifting out of warranty or buying a car that is out of warranty gets you into a car that is so cheap that even if you have to put a few bucks in for repairs, you're basically still driving a Mercedes, and often many of these cars are built to last. Some would argue that, but a lot of them are actually very well made, and they'll run the distance. If you do your maintenance and your repairs, they'll often go a long, long time. The beauty with that, of course, is that mass depreciation works in your favor and helps you own one of these great luxury cars well beyond the warranty period. So you don't have to feel guilty about buying it new, but you're able to comfortably enjoy the luxury car driving experience that offered by the Mercedes brand. And on top of all of this, you really do need to check out this video because it will share with you why used Mercedes Benz are just so cheap. Hope to see you guys on the flip side. Catch you real soon. Bye-bye.